All right, what's going on, guys? So today I'm going to show you how to use the different order types in Robinhood. Um, so let's get into it. So I'm here on DraftKings, ticker symbol DKNG. I have 25 shares. Average is 29.32. Okay, so we're gonna start off with just a buy order. This one's pretty simple. You'd put you can either buy in shares or you can buy in dollars. Remember, I feel like a lot of people don't know this, but you can buy little pieces of that whatever company it is. You don't have to buy, one share of Tesla. If you wanted to buy, half of a share, a quarter of a share, you could do that. So you could put dollars, put the amount. Again, DraftKings is, give or take about $29. What did it show? 29 bucks. So, you can come down here and you can, do $10. That's 0.34 of a share. Okay. Or if you wanted to buy it in bulk, buy 100 shares. Sorry. Shares 100. That'll cost you, to 2,900. Okay. So that's the buy order. Simple. A limit order is where you'd want to set a price to where you would feel comfortable with owning those shares. So again, if the price right now is 29, 29, pretty much $29. Let's just say you wanted to buy down here at 28.55. Let's just say that would be your entry point. You can come over here and say, okay, you know what? I want to buy these shares at 28.55. So if price comes down, if price is up here and it comes down to that 25.85, it's going to trigger that order and you're going to buy however many shares, 100 shares, 1,000 shares, whatever, at 28.55. Okay, so the next one is a stop loss order. I actually use this one a lot. I am busy throughout the day. So a lot of the times, when I'm super busy and I'm on the move. So, what I'll do is, let's just say I bought down here, okay, at 28.55. So this stop loss order, what I would do is when the price gets up here, okay, remember I bought at 28.55. So when the price gets up here, $29, what I would do, 29.05, I would set a stop loss at $29. Okay. So if the price is going up here, coming up here, and then guess what? Boom, it goes below it. So as soon as it passed $29, because that's my stop price, it's going to instantly sell my shares. Okay. So if I bought it 28.55, it went up to 29.22 and I put a stop price at 29. As soon as it comes below that, it's going to trigger my order. So now, if I had 100 shares, that's what is that? Like $45 gain, not too crazy there, but you can set that however you want. If you look at a 3-month outlook, actually, man, DraftKings is getting smashed. But okay, again, if you bought 31.67 and then it comes up to 38, now you can set your stop loss to, let's just say, 35. Oh shoot, sorry, 35. Okay, and then it comes down a little bit. You would have gotten stopped out there, but let's just say you would have done it at like 33, and then it goes even higher. The higher it goes, you can just keep upping your stop loss, little dollar by dollar by dollar by dollar. Okay, you see that? So that one's pretty simple. I use that one a lot because, like I said, I'll buy right here, and then I'll be like, all right, cool. It's at 30. I bought here at 31.67. It's up to 35.84. Okay, I'm already in profit. $3 or $4 times 100 shares. I'm up $400. I'm going to set a stop loss here at 34. So if it comes back down to 34, at least I bought down here at 31.67. I'll make 200 and some bucks. Okay, now this next one is a stop limit order. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really use this one as much. But basically how this one works is, you'd set a stop price at, let's look at this ledge right here, 42.31, and then let's do like $35 or $36, and then you'd set a limit price of, let's just say 35.50. Okay, so again, I don't really use I've actually never really used this. um but so as soon as it goes below that stop price of $36, it's going to it's going to trigger this limit price, and then that limit price will be turned into a market price, and that's where you'll buy your shares at 35.50. Again, I don't really use this one that much. I don't really care for it, but you can use this one, if you want to get, maybe a better price on something. And then the trailing stop loss is what I use pretty much the most. This is one of my favorites. So the trailing stop loss, you can put a trail type, so you can put a dollar amount. I use a percentage amount. That's just how I do it. But basically, what you would do is, let's just say again, you bought down here at 31.67. You would set a 1% initial stop price. Okay, so if the price were to drop 1%, you're basically going to force sell those shares, because that's what you put your trailing stop loss at 1%. So if you bought at 31.67, then 1% off of 31.67 is uh, give or take about 32 cents. So if the price drops 32 cents, you're going to instantly sell. But as the price keeps climbing, remember 1% of 31.67 is give or take about 32 cents. So as the price moves up 32 cents, it goes to $32. Guess what? Now your stop is at so if you bought the shares and you did a 1%, if it's at 32, now your stop loss is at break even at that 31.67. And then if it were to go to 32.32, then your stop loss would be at $32. You get it? Because again, it's at 1%. So it'll just keep going. And let's just say the stock gets all the way up to this 48.23 price. Well, guess what? You have a 1% stop loss. So whatever 1% of that price is, and it comes down, then you're going to get stopped out. So like with this one, and you can set it for whatever you want. I personally usually set it for like 1 to 2%, just because, sometimes the market can just crash hard, or, it can go in the opposite direction. So I like to just trail it super, super close, but you could do 10%, you could do 20% if you want. And as price moves up, instead of just selling your shares, and I'll give you an example. I was in a trade a couple weeks ago. It was ticker symbol SMU or SMR, I believe, something like that. And I was going to sell my shares, but I was like, you know what? I don't want to sell my shares. The price was at like $22. And I was like, you know what? I bought it like 19 or 20 or something like that. So I was up. I had like 700 shares at, $20. They were at 22 or 23. So I was up, a couple $1,000. And I was like, you know what? Instead of selling my shares, I'm going to set a 1% trailing stop loss. And the price climbed all the way up to 24.70 or something like that. And then it kind of dumped, that 1%, which is like 25 cents. And boom, it stopped me out. So instead of getting stopped out at $23, because that's where I was going to sell, I got stopped out at like 24.50. So I ended up making an extra $400-500. So for me, this is the best thing for me. I love using this, especially if you're a super busy person and you don't have time to, lock in profits or look at stuff, or, oh shoot, let me check my phone real quick. Buy your shares, set your trailing stop loss. And if it goes in the opposite direction, you'll lose a little bit. And if it keeps climbing, you'll just keep making money. And then the last one here is a reoccurring investment. I do this a lot. I have a long-term account that I put in about $50 a day on just different companies. And there again, you can put any type of amount, $2, $20, $100, $1,000 every day if you wanted to. And it shows the frequency every day, every week, every 2 weeks, every month. And then it shows your buying power and stuff like that. So yeah, this is how you do all of these order types. I hope this was informative. Again, if anybody has any questions, they can drop a comment in here. But that is it for this one. So I hope this was informative.